watch you undress.
Dead ass. He was completely serious too. Like he was joking, but he wasn't joking.
You know? I think that was about to happen. He was just gonna eat pizza and watch her undress.
He was gonna try. Because Cherry Bomb, they don't play those games.
Yeah,
Cherry Bomb doesn't play those games.
They're tough. I like me some Cherry Bomb, but they do play. I don't know if they read the room too good because she was playing a very depressing song.
Yes,
and everybody was into it in the club. If you see the people in the club, they're dancing, they're happy.
They are.
And then she goes, "This isn't rock and roll," or "This is really boring." Yeah, this is too depressing.
And then give me your beat, which is the 80s.
And then they're like, all right, whatever. Like they were into her. She's at a super punk club and people are just digging this song.
And so it's 1986, and this is the movie of movies like the movie of movies. Jesus, rewind. This is the year of movies like Big Trouble in Little China, the iconic Aliens, the straight up slobs versus snobs. Back to School. Okay, these comedies are coming out. These science fiction movies are coming out. 86 was a big year in terms of, okay, we're past the 70s, the start of the blockbuster era, and now we are really getting into, these are specific genre movies. Boom, Delta Force, starring Chuck starring Chuck Norris and
I love me some Chuck Lee.
Yeah. Okay.
And Top Gun.
The Fly, Top Gun, GoBots, Battle of the Rock Lords, featuring the voices of Margot Kidder, Telly Savalas, and Roddy McDowall. Jesus Christ, man. And then you drop a movie like Howard the Duck that's basically about nothing. It's about a duck who liked softcore pornography and cigars, that was in a rock band, that decided to go into advertising after his music career failed. Yeah, people are not going to get that in 86, man. It's the Reagan era. You know what I mean? I promise you, if this movie came out during this streaming era, this movie would be big.
Because it's different. This is a movie that you don't forget. Watching it, you're just, the choices in this with the toots and you never get a chance. Howard is never given a chance to be a likable or redeemable character. Now I get what you're saying. It's almost just you're essentially just watching. It's a really interesting choice too. Howard comes home. He puts his keys down. He's okay. Howard comes home.
Yes.
His girlfriend I took a picture of it. She's out somewhere else on a bachelorette party or trip with the girls. And she's like, I miss you. But then he listens to his voicemail and there's someone that's apparently
it's another chick.
Yeah.
Right. It's another chick. Yeah. Yeah. He's a man whore.
He feeds some fish. He has his cheeky posters like My Little Chickadee. And then he immediately pulls out a play duck. And you're just, that's an interesting intro for your main character because we have a promiscuous duck who loves Playboy.
A promiscuous.
And there's just, you see a photo of Quack Fu, which they set up later. Yeah. You see the photo of him in the band. So they do a lot of Chekhov stuff. Right.
Absolutely.
But it's, when do we ever have these kind of intros? That's the intro to this movie.
Okay, listen to me. You get a very solid baseline for what normalcy is for Howard. And like you say, thanks to the glory that is Chekhov's gun, all of these things are eventually resolved at the end of the movie. You know, unlike some films, Army of the Dead.
Yeah.
Excuse me. Something was in my throat. Howard, okay? Howard is a master of Quack Fu. Howard is, quite frankly, a player. Okay?
Tell me about Quack Fu real quick.
All right. Well, here's the thing about Quack Fu. All right? No one laughs at a master of Quack Fu, Mark Hoffmeyer. Okay? And the reason why they don't is because a master of Quack Fu is in total control of his surroundings, his mind, and his body. Okay? A master of Quack Fu cannot be denied that which he wants to receive in life. Okay? A master of Quack Fu, quite frankly, will knock you the F out. PG-13. Okay? And so you see the confidence that he has throughout this movie. For what it's worth, he is a creature that is not supposed to exist on the planet Earth. And he just gets by off of straight self-confidence in a lot of situations, okay? He goes on a public bus in Cleveland after he comes out of the spa/orgy club. And people are just openly mocking him. He's like, yeah, whatever. He gives them the old school tap the bottom of your neck with the back of your hand, like Italian, whatever, F you. This is what Quack Fu brings to your life, brother. And I will sell you the tapes for $19.99. So you too can become a master.
His street fighting, Norbert. I've already bought the tapes. So
there you go.
Yeah.
There you go. There you go. I'm on volume 3.
Can we do a Skype one time? We'll Skype in and we can just do the classes together.
Listen, and just Quack Fu all day. Everybody was Quack Fu fighting. I'm sorry.
He seems to be his Quack Fu falls apart pretty quick, but it looks like he's the type of martial arts practitioner where if you only practice one martial art and you get into a street, if you're a jiu-jitsu fighter and you're fighting 8 people, that's not going to work out too well for you. So you need to be able to pivot.
It's really not. Right.
So he pivots and he just starts hitting people with wood and running it under their legs. So he goes from Quack Fu to Street Fu.
Unfortunately, the problem is that according to the Marvel Comics character database, he is 2'9". So the laws of physics, he can only put so much power behind his Quack Fu blows.
Yeah, that's true. Because maybe in his world, Duckworld, those blows would level somebody in the next week.
This is correct. However, the creator, Steve Gerber, was not cool with the concept of Duckworld. He wanted it to be more of a anthropomorphic, just animal world instead of Duckworld. He thought that Duckworld was comic booky. He thought it was cliche. He thought it was, that's not my thing, Yeah, he wasn't into that. And so what Steve Gerber actually created in his mind is the world that is now the home of Sonic the Hedgehog, a.k.a. Mobius.
Oh.
Yeah, mind-blowing. Breaking news.
I see it.
Breaking news.
Duckworld.
Right. Duckworld.
He takes everything so chill. When he lands on Earth, he's just annoyed.
Yeah.
It's just, and then he meets Leah Thompson. He helps her. She fights too. I like that Leah Thompson jumps in there. Like she's not just letting him take a beating. But then he kind of guilts her into her taking this is a very interesting movie.
The 80s emotional beats, okay, where the music lets you know how you're supposed to feel. This movie hits them all. Okay, that when you're the world's on your shoulder, and Howard's sitting there shivering in the rain. She's just looking over. She says, "You know what? Thomas Dolby says I have to take him home." And there it is. And there it is.
I gotta tell you one more thing before I forget. So he brought Lucas brought in Willard Huyck. I listened to a video too to get this name right, and I still mess it up. Huyck. I listened to it, and I already forgot. And then you have Gloria Katz. He went to film school with him, and they wrote American Graffiti. They wrote Temple of Doom. But what I find is most interesting is that Willard, his career really halted after this movie. And if you look at Roger Christian, who worked with Lucas on Phantom Menace and a lot of his other films doing Second Unit, who directed Battlefield Earth, and George Lucas recommended him for it. I feel bad for Lucas acolytes who go on to other movies that listen, Battlefield Earth had a reason to tank. It was part of the franchise pictures. Awful. Like franchise pictures, they said the movie had an $80 million budget. They swindled most of it. They sent it out to Canada. They found an abandoned mall, luckily, to shoot in. They pretty much had no money whatsoever. And the people working on it kind of loved it. They're like, we had no money, but we had to get really creative. And so I feel bad for Christian and Howard because Willard and Roger, because they were Lucas acolytes and Gloria Katz, Oscar nominee Gloria Katz, their careers, I feel bad. I just want to say, I feel bad for Lucas acolytes.
Listen. You're telling me, number one, that a movie that is basically a metaphor for Scientology not only failed spectacularly, but was also a cash scam? That's mind-blowing.
You need to look up franchise pictures.
That's mind-blowing.
And so Eli Samahi, he started Franchise Pictures with this in mind. So he found movies that were in turnaround, or if, let's say, Sylvester Stallone, at the height of his power, couldn't get a movie made, studios were just like, no, we're not making this movie. Eli would be like, yes, I will make this movie for you. But they would make him take a pay cut, send it to Canada, shoot it. But they could shoot their passion project. But before they could shoot it, Eli would take a cut of the movie, drop the budget, so then they had to re-scrap everything on the set, and then eventually got sued for like $120 million from a German company. And then the whole company went under. But this was Ballistics X First Sever, Sound of Thunder.
Yes.
I mean,
Awful.
some of the really bad movies. Art of War. Whole Nine Yards was their one success that got him a ton of press. But yeah, there's some really neat articles about that. But yeah, Battlefield Earth, the cameraman said he had the lowest lighting budget for any film he's ever worked on for Battlefield Earth. And they just ran out of money, so Roger Christian just said, Dutch every angle. Make every angle Dutch to make it look like a comic book.
Well, what you were saying about the George Lucas acolyte, Harrison Ford famously said, George, you can type this shit, but you sure can't say it. Yeah. Move your mouth when you're typing. George Lucas had a great imagination, okay? And then
he's a world builder.
He just had a Scrooge McDuck money bin to get it done. Mm-hmm. All right? And we know this because the best Star Wars movie, directed by Irwin Kershner. Empire Strikes Back, okay? That's the best one. I will have no debate on this. It's the best Star Wars movie.
I don't know what comes close.
Yeah.
Now, call me crazy, but I would watch Return of the Jedi before Empire, but I would never say that it's better than Empire.
How dare you? You're lucky that we're on the other side of the planet. So I don't have to flay you alive.
The Rancor. I love Jabba's palace.
Okay.
I think the Ewoks get a bad rap, and I get it.
Okay.
But these are tiny, regular-sized creatures for their home planet. They are creatures who went willingly into a battle against well-armed laser murderers, stormtroopers, who actually had good aim when it came to the Ewoks.
When it came to the Ewoks, they could nail them. Totally.
I mean, Ewoks were getting slaughtered left and right. And they're cannibals, too. I love it. But they went out of their way and died. A lot of them died. Even the Gungans, a lot of them got murdered, a lot of Gungans. Did you see all the Gungans getting wiped out in that battle?
Gungans were useless. Okay? Gungans were useless creatures.
I just like the Ewoks because they had some cool traps. They really helped. But they also had an edge. They were cannibals. So sure, they're toy grabs.
They did.
I don't even care if they're toy grabs. Who cares? I love the Ewoks, and I think that they're brave and they're.
Empire Strikes Back, Hoffmeyer. How dare you? Okay.
No, Empire's better. Question. Empire's better. But I would watch Return of the Jedi beforehand.
My first question is Empire Strikes Back. How dare you? The second question is Joe Roma's Cajun Sushi. Would you eat there?
No.
And define yourself.
That place. No, I would not eat there.
Howard the Duck, Cleveland, Ohio. Their premier sushi restaurant is called Joe Roma's Cajun Sushi. Okay? And let me tell you, out here in South Korea, plenty of fusion stuff going on. For example, you can buy pizza in South Korea. But what's on it? Corn.
But it's cheaper than Pizza Hut.
Okay. Not only is there corn on it, but next thing you know, sweet potatoes. Inception, boy.
Quick question.
Your pizza has sweet potatoes and corn. Speak it. Speak your words.
Why is Pizza Hut so expensive out there? Because remember, I think I went with you once. Did I go with you? I don't know who I went, but it was so expensive. It was $30-some, I remember. In 08.
Yes.
Odd. And then, but the corn pizza, $6.
Franchise fees. You got to pay for the franchise fees, brother.
Oh, that's what it is?
You got to pay for the franchise fees. Absolutely. And also, Pizza Hut. We find it delicious in America. Why won't you find it delicious in Korea? Bwamp. Inception, bwamp. Okay. Now, here's the thing. Joe Roma's Cajun Sushi. Okay. Howard the Duck goes there with Beverly and Dr. Jennings, who is at this point quickly transforming into one of the dark overlords of the universe.
And he's totally transparent about it, by the way.
It's just not hiding. Okay. He is speaking his truth. Okay. He's speaking his truth. Now, they go to Joe Roma's Cajun Sushi, and what do they order? Steak and eggs! Explain.
The special, because they just ordered the special, so they didn't know what the special was. 3 specials, 3 beers.
Okay, when have you gone to a sushi restaurant that has a Denny's menu? Question mark.
Now, it seemed like there were 2 different sides of the restaurant. So I think that they were quite smart to keep a fusion side and then a steak and egg side. Mm-hmm. And because, I mean, you look at the client, there's a lot of different clientele in there.
The clientele is diverse.
So I do think they're smart. Because here's the thing. If I started a brewery, I would mainly focus on pretentious IPAs that I would enjoy. But I know that I'd have to have a seltzer, a lager, a stout, and like a Goza or a sour. I would have to have one of those options.
Right, some kind of Guinness clone, right.
If I had 10 beers, 5 would be IPA, and then the other 5 would be stuff, 2 lagers, like just to make sure. if people come in. Because I understand if you have 10 IPAs, that's not good for business.